All right, I'm here with one of my favorite writers and creators right now, Greg Pak. I've got a couple of questions for him, and I'm just going to start off with the biggie, with Hulk, and then into Herc. How much fun was it to just write like the definitive Hulk story for this age?
Well, I thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying definitive Hulk story for this age, because that warms the cockles of my heart. I loved working on the book, and the Hulk was one of those characters that I just had my eye on from the minute I started working at Marvel. For some reason, I just wanted. He's such a simple character, and as a result, he can be really deep. You know what I mean? You take a simple thing like anger, and you can play with that a million different ways. And and then when I found out that Joe Quesada, editor-in-chief of Marvel, had this crazy idea of the Hulk on an alien planet with a big battle axe in a gladiatorial arena, and he told me that, and I said, "Sign me up, please." You know.
Did he say you can use any cosmic character? We'll even give you Silver Surfer. How did that come about?
That kind of came about as we went along. There was a certain point where it's like, it would be awesome to have some of those cosmic characters in there, and the Silver Surfer was just one of these characters I've loved for years. And he has a relationship with the Hulk. They were both on the Defenders and all that kind of stuff. And so we had to do a little wheedling and make sure it worked out. But yeah, we got to use him.
Well, I'm sure you've talked about the Hulk to death. I'm going to move on to Herc, which the Incredible Hercules, I'm loving. And Herc is a character I always loved. And I saw him pop back up at Civil War, and I was like, man, I hope he comes back around. And then, voila, he's kind of got his own book right now. Is this an indefinite kind of move for Herc, or is it going to be, on and off?
I'm writing this with Fred Van Lente, and we just keep writing as long as they keep approving it, I think, if nobody had bought it when the book started, when it took over the Hulk's book, we probably wouldn't be talking right now, but people went for it, and it has been a huge amount of fun. And so yeah, we've got it planned out we've got another 12 issues planned out at least. And so we'll keep going.
Why Herc though?
Why Herc? Because Herc was perfect to be this character that was going to take over the Hulk's book, because back in the day, Herc was the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, when you go back and read the mythology, Herc has the same anger management issues. He's got the same, he's the strongest guy around. He's got the worst temper, and he's always getting into trouble. You know what I mean? And so he was the perfect kind of character to kind of pick up the mantle. I mean, we joke about it. I mean, actually, we joke about it in the book itself, that Herc is kind of like the Hulk with better jokes. And so it allows us to play with those same themes of, out-of-control power, but with a kind of a different tone.
All right. Well, speaking of Herc, it is his backstory. The mythology, the whole Greek mythology, that whole realm. There's already a couple of mythologies set in the Marvel Universe. Are you going to explore that at all a little bit?
Yeah, well, we're doing a story arc right now called Sacred Invasion, and it's our tie-in to the big Secret Invasion summer thing. And basically the plot is, the Secret Invasion is the Skrulls have invaded Earth, and Sacred Invasion is the story of Hercules gets together a group of gods to go kill the Skrull gods. Like, that's their crazy plan. But as a result, there are a number of other people from other mythoses who are part of this. And as we go along, we'll see more of that. I think we're gonna try to rope in some of these other mythologies and play with them, and while we continue to deepen the Greek mythology.
Okay. Now, a question about Battlestar Galactica. How did that come along?
Oh my God!
How excited were you?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the original series. When I was a kid, I can still hum the silent bubble machine commercial. But so I just love that show. And then when the new show came on, remember, because they showed them the pilot on 2 nights. Yeah. And I came back the third night thinking they were going to keep showing more, and they didn't. And I was like, what? And I had to wait a year and a half. I mean, I was just so into that show. I was talking to Nick Barucci at Dynamite and found out that he had the rights to do the comic book spinoff. And I sunk in my little claws and didn't let go. And it was a huge dream come true. I just love that show so much. I think it's been Ron Moore and those guys just did such an amazing job setting up those characters and those dynamics that working on the comic book was, it was very easy to step in and find. And they also set up such great relationships that there was stuff for us to play with in the comic book. So
now, just to let you know, I did a film called Speed Racer with the Wachowski brothers.
Exactly.
While I was over there, the Wachowskis said, you have to read as well as watch. and they're big fans of yours. So I just thought I'd pass that on. No.
Okay,
I thought I'd pass that on.
you just sent some chills up my spine there, so that's a little crazy.
Yeah. And it was great to work with them, but I think the better part of working with them was sitting behind the monitor in between takes, just shooting the breeze about books, what we read, what we like, what we're looking out for.
Well, since I'm just a lowly writer, I don't travel in quite such rarefied spheres as you do, but you will be pleased to know that my friend Grace thinks you are dreamy. To the max. She loves your show.
Well, hi, Grace. Well, man, it was a pleasure to get to talk to you. Is there anything when you come to a con that you're looking for, or are you just
I got to say I go to those dollar bins because once upon a time they were quarter bins. Now they're $1, but that's okay. But I go through there, and I actually buy. I'm embarrassed to say I buy my own comics because then I give them away to people, like to the Hero Initiative. Actually, I shameless plug here. The Hero Initiative is a great charity that does work for comic book creators who are down on their luck and need some support, and so donating stuff to them and to other folks is the dollar bins are a great way to get some stuff that can.
Well, if anybody has a chance, swing by the Hero booth. Make sure that you help out some of your favorite creators that may be down and out right now. But it was a pleasure.
Likewise, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.